Welcome to the channel. It's Almighty Den, and I'm back again. Y'all be sure to hit that like button right now before I even get started in the video, because I got a banger for y'all. I got some more details. Be sure to subscribe if you want to stay updated on NBA 2K23 content. You see who I am right now, and I'm in the builder for a reason, because the news I'm about to drop for y'all, the details, is going to affect your NBA 2K23 builds. Now, as I keep dropping out more information, you have to remember these things as you go into NBA 2K23, because on day one, you're going to want to make a nice build. We want to make a build with all these facts. There's people that's already played the game and experienced it, just in case we don't get a demo. So keep it in mind. Now, the first thing I want to let y'all know is that this information came from Shakedown 2012. NBA 2K YouTuber, makes a lot of videos on top 10 plays and highlights and whatnot. He was at the event, so he pretty much explained to us how the game felt and what he thought. Now, in my opinion, I think that his thoughts and opinions on the game on 2K23 thus far are pretty valid. I mean, he's been playing 2K for years. He's a valid 2K player. He knows the game. He knows what to expect. He knows what we want to see. He knows what we want to like. And some of the details that he gave us, I'm going to share with y'all and summarize it in this video and give you my thoughts and opinions on what was shared. Now, one of the most important realistic things that he shared with us is that he said NBA 2K23 feels more realistic. Now, I'm going to drop down and go down the list. There's a list of things that I have that I'm going to share with y'all as far as updates and how the gameplay feels. Now, the first thing I'm going to share is that players are less explosive after the size up. So he said it didn't feel very twitchy, as if like you're just kind of glitching out. You're just kind of like those speed boosts after people dribble up and then go left and right real quick. A lot of that left and right is due to players having those explosive speed boosts because of the badges. He said that is less likely. Now, understand that this is just play now. Now, when you get into my career and my player, and you start updating your players' speed with ball up all the way, really short players, really fast, that could change. You never know what badges these players can have on Hall of Fame, so that's something to keep in mind. He also said ISO doesn't feel as twitchy, but ISO, you can still ISO players because you can still get by them with certain dribble moves. Now, of course, you're going to always be able to get past players with certain dribble moves in NBA 2K. Also, there is a new shot meter. We've seen that. I showed y'all that. But another good thing that he mentioned was the green animation. So if your three-pointer is up high, your mid-range is up high, and you getting them greens, the shot meter green animation is delayed. So instead of just automatically knowing the shot's pretty much going in most of the time, it's a little bit more anticipation to know if it's going to go in or get a green. Also, the dunk meter is like the shot meter now. It's not just that pull down on the stick and then try to time it up with releasing it at the right point, which I really wasn't that big of a fan of. I thought it was a good idea personally, but I thought it could be a little bit more efficient, because it's like the timing of when you actually flick down on the stick and release, it's not all that great. It's a little bit off. It could be a little bit more refined, in my opinion, especially if you have a high dunk overall. I think it should be a little bit easier to green, but that's just my opinion. And also, instead, it's changed because this dunk meter has button commands now. Now, one of the most important things that I read that he said, which is when I create my player, I always put my perimeter defense up as pretty much as high as it can go. I definitely gonna want Hall of Fame clamps. And if it's like he was saying, now he said they had Lonzo Ball in the Bulls. The Bulls were one of the teams. Now he's 6'6". Now, as he was saying, he said he was clamping up Steph Curry. Clamping up Steph Curry is kind of crazy. Now, he did say that on-ball defense has improved. There are more bumps. Now, this past 2K, I didn't feel like, for me to have clamps on Hall of Fame, I didn't feel like I was getting a lot of bumps. I feel like a lot of players are just sliding past me. Even when I pressed up on them and they weren't going nowhere, I wasn't really clamping them up as I should. Now, the badge will activate sometimes, but I feel like it could be better. So, more bumps maybe means more defensive builds will be better next year. And he said they have better lateral quickness. Now, obviously, if you put your speed up, you're going to get lateral quickness. And if you put your perimeter defense up, you get better lateral quickness as well. So that will help stay in front of players, because that explosiveness out of those size ups, those speed boosts are super hard to stay in front of, even though you should have some speed if you have speed and good perimeter defense. I think if they balance that out, that'd be a very good improvement. But also, like I said, he did say players felt less explosive. So players felt less explosive, and they bumped the defense up, and they get more bumps, and you got more lateral quickness. That means a lot of players might be actually getting clamped up next year on the perimeter. So it's going to be very, very interesting to see how that is. Now, if you keep in mind, earlier this year in 2K, when the game first dropped out, the AI was clamping up on everything, and they still do. So let's keep that in mind as well. Um, Also, as far as defense goes, the closeout speeds, he said, felt a little bit quicker. The game speeds felt a little bit slower, and the jump shot speed felt slower as well. But we all know that people are going to go through different jump shots and find the jump shots that they like the most and that are quicker and easy to green. He said it was easy to green, especially on open catch and shoots. So very, very interesting. Now, one thing that he also mentioned that I think would be a good game changer, especially for our smaller builds, because I know this year a lot of the chase down blocks animations in the game was pretty much taking over everything in the paint, especially on the twos, because a lot of the time as a smaller guard, you should be faster than these bigger players, but they could always chase you down and get a block, even though that you beat them off the dribble. He said there was less chase down blocks and shot blocking, and it's been toned down. So as smaller guards can get more layups. So this is a benefit to those smaller guards who don't really have much of a dunk. And because I know it's tough to go for a layup in NBA 2K sometimes, because a lot of players, especially just because they're tall and long, can chase you down and get a block, even though that they're slower than you. I feel like you should be a little bit more quicker to get past them and get an easy, quick layup instead of giving them all day to go back and block the shot. And I do understand that if you go to the badges on 2K22, there's badges that'll help you take off faster and get the layoff up quicker. But some of those speeds, as far as those defenders getting to those blocks, are a little bit unrealistic in my opinion. So if they tone that down, that'll be a very, very good plus. Now, one of the last things I want to mention to y'all is this. I got one more thing. He did say left stick dribbling seemed a little bit OP. So if you combine that guards are getting a bit more layups off and not have to worry about getting blocked, and the left stick dribbling is OP. Now we gotta wait to see how OP that is, because I'm pretty sure out of the teams on the demo, Steph Curry is probably the best ball handler that they had, and there's a lot of animations that we can use to see that for a fact. But usually there's always some OP dribble moves. Expect that. Now if they buff the defense up, you can give the offense a couple of not OP moves, but nice dribble moves to counteract that. I think there should be counters for everything in the game. I think that's the only way that you should go about it. This should be like playing chess out there. Like, okay, if he's doing this, I can do this to combat that. I think that's only fair. You know what I'm saying? It should be more of a chess match than a cheese game. And the ultimate thing that he was saying was this, that I got from it, was Mike Wang was trying to make NBA 2K23 less cheesy. Now, if he can make the game more realistic and more cheesy, this will be a very, very good NBA 2K23. Less cheesy. I mean, less left-right cheese, less dribble cheese, less just blow-by cheese. Make the game balanced, fair to where everybody's not necessarily playing with the same build, using the same animations, using the same cheesy dribble moves, making the same exploits. If we can minimize the exploitations in the game, because we all know when the game first comes out, or when it comes out, everybody's going to be looking for the most overpowered build, to do the most overpowered moves. But once that gets patched up, which I'm experiencing right now, I came back and started playing 2K, and it's a completely different game since the beginning of the year right now. People has changed their builds out to more reflect the current state of the game right now, based on to the beginning of the game. In the beginning of the game, my build was a two-way shot creator. It's pretty dominant. Now I feel like, I need a little bit more wingspan, a little bit more length, because, a lot of players are longer, taller now in the game. They're not just trying to shoot and score. And, they always make updates. So, going into 2K23, I'm going to be smart. I'm going to keep y'all updated on everything that I know. Keep y'all posted. All these details are very important. Make sure you keep them in mind, especially as we get closer to the game come out. As gameplay will be releasing soon in August and all that type of stuff. More details will be releasing. And as they come, I got y'all. But anyways, if you enjoyed this video, make sure you hit that like button, hit that sub button, click the notifications on. Until next time, Dinsky out.